The stadium stands silent. The battlefield awaits. Shadows stir, legends awaken. Tonight, the clash begins. Join the Night Watch and let's sim the battle and rule the night together. Welcome to Night Sims. Beneath the sprawling skyline of Brooklyn, where the echoes of history linger and the pulse of the borough never rests, there lies a legend woven into the very fabric of these streets. It's the tale of shadows that stretch across the cobblestone alleys, whispers carried on the wind that vanish before they're understood, and unseen figures said to watch from the forgotten corners of the borough. They are the Brooklyn Ghosts, a force bound to the borough's spirit, embodying the restless energy of a place that refuses to be forgotten. The story begins with the unseen watchers, spirits said to have emerged from the moments of turmoil in Brooklyn's past. These figures are said to linger, protecting the borough as silent sentinels from a world just beyond our own. Their existence is whispered about in tales of late-night encounters in the shadowed alleys where footsteps seem to echo longer than they should, to the flicker of a lantern which reveals a face that suddenly dissolves into the mist. The Brooklyn Ghosts embrace this legacy with unyielding pride, rising from the shadows to dominate the Gridiron as a team unlike any other. They move with the precision of an apparition, striking with the force of history itself, before vanishing without a trace. Their essence is drawn from the borough's unshakable spirit, a force forged through adversity, resilience, and an unrelenting connection to the past. From their uniforms to their emblem, every detail of the ghost ties back to their haunting legend. Black dominates their palette, with a shade as deep and infinite as the shadows that stretch across the borough, to the gray that sweeps through their design like a fleeting mist, and the green which illuminates their ghostly essence. Their home, the spectral spire, stands as a modern-day tribute to the ghost legend. On the Gridiron, the Brooklyn Ghosts dominate with a combination of spectral agility and relentless force. Their defense moves like the shadows, closing gaps with precision and overwhelming offenses before retreating into the mist. Their offense strikes with an almost supernatural unpredictability, exploiting their opponent's weaknesses and leaving no trace behind. Every play is fueled by their mantra: from the shadows we rise, from the past we strike, fear the ghosts. The Brooklyn Ghosts are more than a football team. They are the living embodiment of the borough's restless spirit, a force that channels its history into modern-day power. To face them is to confront the echoes of the past and the shadows of legends that refuse to fade. Brooklyn is not just a borough, it is a force, and the ghosts are its champion. Deep in the mist-laden woods surrounding Sacramento, there is a legend whispered among those who dare venture too far from the familiar glow of the city lights. It is the tale of a creature neither entirely of this world nor fully departed, an entity that moves between the realms with silent grace of the forgotten. They call it the Ghost Deer, a spectral guardian of the wilderness, an omen only seen when fate is about to shift. The origins of this legend stretch back centuries, woven into the folklore of indigenous tribes who believed the deer to be a messenger between life and death. It was said that the warriors who glimpsed its phantom white form in the depths of the forest were bound to great change, their path forever altered by forces beyond their understanding. The ghost deer was not an enemy, nor was it a protector. It was something far older, something that watched, something that knew. As settlers expanded across the Sacramento Valley, stories of the ghost deer grew more frequent, yet no one could capture proof of his existence. Hunters spoke of a towering stag, its ethereal silver coat shimmering under the moonlight, flickering between the trees like a spirit caught between the realms. Others swore they had shot at it, only for the bullets to pass clean through, hitting nothing but the empty night air. There were those who followed its tracks deep into the forest, only for the prints to abruptly cease, as if the creature had ascended into the unseen. Those who dared seek it never found answers. They only found the lingering presence of something watching from the shadows. The Sacramento Ghost Deer embodied this legend, moving through the game with the same spectral precision that has haunted the forest for generations. Their defense tightens like the mist creeping through the trees, suffocating their opponents with relentless pressure. Their offense vanishes and reappears, striking with an eerie unpredictability that unsettles defenses before they even register the threat. Their movements are fluid, calculated, inevitable. They do not overpower, they do not force, they simply haunt. Every detail of their identity ties back to the legend. Their uniforms shimmer under the stadium lights, shifting like specters caught between the realities. Their green accents cutting through the fog like the forest itself reclaiming its presence. Their helmets bear the haunting eyes of the ghost eater, wide, unblinking, illuminated against the void. Their home, the veil, stands as a gateway to the unknown. Those who step onto the turf do not enter a stadium. They enter the legend itself. On the gridiron they play as the myth itself, a presence that cannot be grasped, an entity that remains even when the mist clears. Their mantra carries through the fog, whispered like a warning. Move unseen. Strike in silence. Leave no trace. Sacramento does not merely host a football team. It keeps a legend alive, a force born from whispers, a story that refuses to fade. Those who face the ghost eater must do more than confront their opponent. They must confront the unknown. In the rolling emerald hills of Ireland, where folklore dances on the winds and echoes across the land, there is a legend of a spirit whose voice pierces the night, chilling the bones of those who hear it. It is the wail of the banshee, a spectral harbinger, a lamenting guardian, a voice from beyond that carries both sorrow and strength. Dublin, a city steeped in myth and ancient tradition, claims the spirit as its own. The Dublin Banshees are not merely a team, they are an embodiment of Ireland's unyielding spirit, its haunting beauty, and its fierce resilience. The tale of the Banshee has been whispered for centuries, passed down through generations as a warning and a blessing. It is said that she appears at twilight, her form barely visible through the mist, her voice carrying through the air like an otherworldly song. Her lament foretells change, her presence heralding both endings and new beginnings. She is not a figure of malice, but of power, her cries reminding all who hear them of the inevitability of fate. The Dublin Banshees draw upon the spectral legend, channeling the Banshee's voice into every game they play. Their movements are fluid, yet fierce, like the sudden gusts of wind that accompany her presence. Their defense is relentless, surrounding opponents with a suffocating pressure that echoes the Banshee's inescapable wail. Their offense is swift and unpredictable, striking with a ferocity that leaves their opponents reeling. They do not fight for survival. They fight as the unstoppable tide of destiny itself. Their identity is a tribute to the legend. Their uniforms shimmer like the gray mist that cloaks the Irish countryside, accented with the deep greens of the land and the pale silver of the moonlight. The logo captures the essence of the Banshee, a spectral figure with flowing hair and haunting eyes, her voice immortalized in their emblem. The Banshee's home, the wailing grounds, transforms into an otherworldly domain on game day. On the field, they play with the inevitability of fate itself. Their mantra is carried by the wind, chilling and resolute. Hear our cry, feel our strength, fear our wail. Dublin does not simply honor the legend of the Banshee, they bring it to life. The Banshees are a force that transcends the sport, a reminder of Ireland's powerful myths and its enduring legacy. To face them is to face the spirit of a nation, and to hear their wail is to know the weight of destiny. In the shadow of Mount Royal, where the dense forest and rugged terrain hold secrets older than the city itself, there are stories that stretch back to a time before Montreal's rise. They tell of a fearsome transformation, a curse woven into the land, and creatures that emerge in the light of the full moon. The howl of the loup-garou has long echoed through the city's mythology, a reminder that beneath Montreal's vibrant streets lies a primal force that cannot be contained. The legend of the werewolf in Montreal is rooted in both indigenous lore and tales brought by early French settlers. It is said that a man who betrayed his kin or broke a sacred vow would be cursed to roam the night as a beast, his soul torn between man and wolf. Over time, these stories evolved, merging with local traditions to form the powerful, untamed myth of the werewolves that haunt the forest beyond the city. Hunters spoke of strange tracks that appeared out of nowhere and vanished just as abruptly. Farmers claimed their livestock fell victim to beasts whose howls chilled the night air. But above all, it was the howl, the deep, mournful cry that haunted the dreams of those who heard it. The Montreal werewolves draw their strength from this feral legend. They are a team unleashed, tearing through their opponents with a force as wild and as tamed as the myths that define them. Their defense closes in like a pack, leaving no avenue of escape, while their offense strikes with the savage precision of a predator on the hunt. They play with a primal energy that cannot be denied, driven by the relentless spirit of the beast. Every element of their identity honors this legend. Their uniforms are designed to evoke the forested darkness and the spectral light of the moon. Deep feral hues dominate their palette with rich silver, gray, and accents of crimson, symbolizing the blood moon that drives the transformation. Their emblem, a snarling wolf, captures the raw, untamed essence of the beast. Their home, the den, is a fortress that comes alive on game day. The Montreal Werewolves are more than a football team. They are the embodiment of their city's feral heart. Their mantra, howled into the night, is both a warning and a promise. Unleash the beast, run with the pack, fear the howl. Montreal doesn't just support their team, they are a part of the hunt. The werewolves legend is woven into the city's soul, a primal force that reminds all who visit that under the glow of the moon, these beasts run free. In the rolling plains of Omaha, where the winds carry whispers of forgotten times, and the land holds echoes of its history, there exists a chilling legend, a story of spirits that never found rest. The Omaha phantoms are born of these tales, embodying the unseen forces that linger in the shadows, moving among the living with spectral grace and unnerving power. The legend begins with Omaha's earliest days, when pioneers and settlers crossed the untamed prairie. It is said that some who ventured west never returned, not because of hardship, but because they were claimed by the land itself. They were something more, something unseen, their presence felt in fleeting shadows and unexplained chills in the air. Over generations, these restless spirits became known as the Phantoms, guardians of the plains, protectors of their territory, yet harbingers of unease to all who dared trespass. The Omaha Phantoms channel this spectral energy, dominating the Gridiron with an otherworldly presence. Their defense seems omnipresent, closing every gap as though guided by unseen hands, while their offense strikes with precision, vanishing into the ether before opponents can respond. They play not with brute strength, but with an unsettling grace that lingers long after the game is over. Every detail of the Phantom's identity pays tribute to their haunting mythos. Their uniforms are inspired by the prairie's twilight hues, white that shimmers like moonlight on the plains, gray evoking the creeping dusk, and violet, a spectral glow that hints at the supernatural. Their emblem, a ghostly figure veiled in swirling mist, captures the spirit of the unseen. Their home stadium, the Haunt, becomes a spectral stage on game day. On the field, the Omaha Phantoms are a force that opponents cannot grasp, let alone predict. Their mantra resonates with the eerie stillness of the plains. Move like the wind, strike like the unseen, haunt forever. Omaha is not just home to the Phantoms, it is their hunting ground. To face them is to confront more than a football team. It is to confront the specters of the past and to feel the presence of the unseen in every corner of the field.